This is Game Set Match Kentucky, episode 35, recorded on Saturday, December 16th, 2023, entitled Racket Around the Christmas Tree. Hey everybody, it's time for a special holiday episode of Game Set Match Kentucky where we talk about all things related to the Central Kentucky Tennis Series and probably a whole lot more that you never asked Santa for. We're recording on Saturday, December 16th, and my name is Chris Godby, the chairman and one of the founders of the Central Kentucky Tennis Series, where the lines are good and sandbagging is for golf. I'm at Studio C right now, decorated Studio C at my work office in Russell Springs, Kentucky. Chad Young is in Studio B in Scottsville. How's it going?
Ho, ho, ho. It's not really decorated here in Studio B, but we're very festive nonetheless. I feel like I need to move a little bit because this Santa shirt that I have.
Well, just take a moment and show us your costume so that we don't think it's some kind of red Puritan Quaker outfit or whatever.
See, I got, Santa's belt. This lights up, but that would probably not look good on the video. But yeah, I mean, it perfectly fits behind this microphone, and it does make me look like a red Quaker, like a Martian Quaker or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, got the hat. I think we had the hat on last year for our holiday episode.
Yes, I'm doing antlers, although they're kind of cut off in the picture, and there's a little bit of green garland there. So buffalo plaid antlers, that's my headwear for today.
But Merry Christmas to everyone from the Scottsville, Bowling Green metro area.
Absolutely. And Merry Christmas to everybody. This is going to be a special holiday episode of Game Set Match Kentucky, but we do have some real things to discuss, mainly talking about things that are going to happen next year in 2024. So today we're going to talk about the new USTA player ratings that were recently released. Also, USTA Kentucky has released their 2024 championship calendar for adult events. There's plenty of tennis coming up in January that we're going to look at, but we've got to start with the reveal
biggest news
of the 2024 CKTS tournament schedule. So we'll pause for just a second while you grab your pens and pencils.
This is like the big present under the tree. When you woke up Christmas morning and you see that big item underneath the tree. Lots of presents, but you have one big item that your eyes fixed on. That would be the 2024 CKTS.
There's some big differences for 24, and there's some changes. There's some musical chairs happening, but let's get into it. But first, let me tell you about Vision Cabinet Source. Vision Cabinet Source is located in Campbellsville, Kentucky. They're a kitchen and bath cabinet supplier that ships all over the United States and has for over a decade. Whether you're building a new home or renovating a room in your home, Vision Cabinet Source can provide you with classic cabinet styles that are well built and affordable. You'll also find that they go above and beyond to provide service that exceeds expectations, from answering your initial questions to ensuring that you're happy with the final delivered product. Every Vision cabinet is built upon their promise to deliver well-constructed cabinets made from solid hardwoods, classic versatile designs that complement your style, affordable options that fit your budget, on-time delivery with shipment within 24 hours, accessible personal service that you can count on as well. They have many different painted and stained lines of cabinets that are stocked in their warehouse in Campbellsville, Kentucky. They have a 17-step finishing process in making these cabinets that assures top quality craftsmanship. Go online and look at their styles and designs for yourself, and you'll agree that they do great work at an affordable price. You can check them out on their website at visioncabinet.com, or you can call them at 270-465-3222. Be sure to tell them that you heard about Vision Cabinet Source right here on Game Set Match Kentucky. All right, are you ready? Let's do it. It just
Do
seems
it.
like it was just a short time ago that we were in this Christmas attire and we were releasing the 2023 schedule. But it's already time to do it again. And like I said, we've got some really cool surprises, some big changes, some long lost tournaments are back, musical chairs, lots of holiday fun.
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to Chris for the hard work.
My racket fell. Hold on.
All right,
Let's
I'll
just
give a
keep it
softer
going.
shout out.
We'll just keep it going. Wait. All right. We've all seen the racket now, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna make it lean a little better there. All right, go ahead. Start
But
again with
I'll
that.
give you a softer shout out
Okay.
for the work you put into this schedule. It wasn't easy. There are a lot of moving parts. We and you and other members of the board have talked about some of the additions to the tour and trying to make it the best it could be, and then trying to work on the dates that the tournament directors desire, and it's harder than people probably realize.
Yeah. And, we're again like working around the USTA adult tournament schedule, which we're going to look at that also today. So yeah, it's difficult. One of the difficulties is so many of our tournament directors, maybe nearly 100% of our tournament directors, are high school coaches.
Yeah.
And the first tournament is usually around the high school state tournament time, and June is busy, so it's tough.
And that's a change. It used to be, if folks will remember, probably going back to when you coached, the state tournament was always in the middle of May, and the region tournaments were at the beginning of May. And I want to say probably 5-6 years ago is when they pushed us back 2 weeks, and so now most of our region tournaments are mid-May. And our state tournament, I think since 2019, has been right after Memorial Day. And I think it overall was a good move by the KHSA. I think it's better for our state tennis, but it does push us right up against the edge of when we normally start the CKTS season.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're discussing, there's no real finalization from the KHSA on this. Now we have a new team format that is also going to have a state tournament. So it makes May and June, kind of busy, and has made it a little challenging for the tour.
In June, you can play all the tennis you want. If you count high school, those of that age, you can play all the tennis you want with CKTS and USTA. So let's jump in and start looking at the schedule. June 1st and 2nd will be the Miller Park Tennis Classic. This is at least 6 weeks earlier than normal. We're going to put it right at the front. Amber Wolf is going to direct the Miller Park Tennis Classic this year. She did the Campbellsville Challenge last year as an extra tournament. But that's going to be June 1st and 2nd in Campbellsville.
And that really helps us out. And I want to say thanks to her, because that is a potentially difficult thing for a lot of the coaches around the state, because the individual state tournament will be the days leading up to that event, and then the team tournament we think is going to be right after it's over. And if you're coaching at the state tournament and you've got a lot of kids, or you have kids you expect to go far, it's really tough to be handling the entries and doing the draws and scheduling times and doing all that when you're in Lexington for the state tournament. So it's a big help to us. That was really, wouldn't you say, the final piece of the puzzle that we needed?
I think so. And this whole schedule, as people will see, is drastically different from the previous couple years sort of pattern that we had. And next year's may be different too. So just because this tournament is the first one of the season doesn't necessarily mean it's the first one next season. We'll just have to see. We won't know that until December of 24 when we make our schedule, right?
Yeah, and the other thing that that factored into this was the fact that Barron County's courts are going to be redone, and the timeline on that. weighed heavily on what tournament could be held that first weekend of the tour.
And there's another facility that I'll mention later that's getting new courts, and they were not necessarily going to be ready that soon either. So picking that event for that first weekend was difficult, but hopefully we're going to make it happen. So let's look at what will be next. The second tournament of the year will be, Chad, I'll let you present the name of this one. It's going to be on June 15th and 16th.
Yeah, it's the Sidney Cassidy Memorial Tournament. We've changed the name of the tournament. We had a multi-year partnership with Kids on the Block, and we were very happy to work with that organization. But Sidney Cassidy was a player who played for South Warren. She holds the school record for most doubles wins. She and her partner Natalie Noble won our fourth region doubles tournament 4 years in a row. They won it from the time that they were freshmen all the way through when they graduated. Their senior year, they were a top 8 seed. They were a 5 through 8 seed in the state tournament. She was a great player, a great young lady. Tragically, she was killed in a car crash a little more than a year ago in November of last year. And so she meant a lot to our program. She meant a lot to me. Her family has meant a lot to our program over the years. And so it seemed appropriate to do our tournament. And our tournament had part of the proceeds of the tournament has gone to our tennis program at South Warren. And so we're now going to split the proceeds. Half will go to the tennis team and tennis boosters, and the other half will go to a memorial scholarship that we set up at WKU that is going to be awarded once we raise enough money to fund it. And so it seemed like a good, kind of a perfect partnership to help the tennis program, but also to help with a scholarship to honor and remember her life and the impact she had on our program.
So that's June 15th and 16th, the Sidney Cassidy Memorial in Bowling Green. So then we'll skip over the next 2 weekends and the observed 4th of July weekend, which is July 6th and 7th. Now, if you were making a bet, you got this one right. As usual, that one will be the State Farm E-Town Open, July 6th and 7th in Elizabethtown.
Now, I don't know if we haven't talked about this at all. What is the status of the expansion at Freeman Lake? Is that
I don't know,
expected in time?
I haven't heard anything. I know that is that's a plan. I don't know if that has begun.
We were there for the middle school state tournament, and they were moving some dirt around, but I don't know. At this time of year, they obviously can't put the courts down, but I don't know if that's something they're hoping to get done in the spring. And fortunately, they already have 10 courts at Freeman Lake, and this expansion is just going to make it even better. But it'll be interesting to see if with what the timeline is for those new courts. I'm not even sure how many more it's going to be, if it's going to be 4 more or 6 or 8, I don't know, but it'll be a fantastic. It's already a great facility. It's going to be even better when you add the extra courts. Well,
I've sent out a message to ask about this just now, and maybe we'll get an answer in a few minutes, and we can come back to that. So July 6th and 7th, State Farm E-Town Open. Now, This one's one of my favorite additions or changes here to the schedule. The Danville Open is back. The Danville Open probably hasn't been played since maybe around 2011, somewhere in there. It's been over 10 years, I know that. But the Danville Open is back with a new director, Teo Costello, the coach of the Boyle County High School tennis, is going to be running that event at Millennium Park and some other locations around Danville. So we're really excited for that. That's going to be July 20th and 21st.
You want a fun fact?
Please, always.
It's the first ever CKTS tournament I played was the Danville Open.
Okay. I remember that. Yeah, you traveled with Mark.
Sheldon. That's
Mark
right.
Sheldon. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember
Lost
that.
to Daniel Finn and Justin Martin in the final.
Okay. Well,
But I
Daniel lives
remember
in Florida now, so I don't think you'll have to face him again.
but I remember having a conversation with you
Hmm.
about Bowling Green becoming a part of the tour, and I think it was either that fall or probably I think 2011 is when we did like the early exhibition,
Hmm. Hmm.
and then we added a tour. I think later that summer, but yeah, that was Danville was the first ever CKTS event I played in.
All right. So welcome back to the CKTS Tour Danville. Danville Open, July 20th and 21st. Okay, then 2 weeks later, this one's kind of on a normal weekend. One of the few normalcies we have, I guess, in this schedule for 24. August 3rd and 4th will be the Alton Blakely Lake Cumberland Open in Somerset. Always a good tournament. Last year they had record numbers in this tournament, so hopefully the momentum keeps on going there.
Yeah, I played last year. It was my first time over there, and I loved it. It's a great tournament.
All right. Then August 17th and 18th, and I think this is traditional as well. The Gator Open in Bowling Green will be August 17th and 18th. Tim Dethridge, director. It's at Greenwood High School, and so that's another event that's that's normal. We got another surprise coming before the schedule is finished.
Seems kind
But
of the middle of the tour is pretty normal because that's always the E-Town weekend.
yeah, without when if you take Danville out,
Yeah,
there's 3 out of 4 tournaments there that are kind of at their normal time. Yes,
yeah.
roughly.
Somerset, Greenwood, and then the next one that you're going to talk about.
Okay. Well, make it 4 out of 5. So maybe now that I reflect, maybe this schedule isn't as drastically different as I thought, but I guess it feels like it just from the difficulty that it was to get it set.
Campbellsville moving was a big one, and then our changing
Yeah,
the name of ours, and
that's true.
adding Danville. I mean, there's still quite a few surprises.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the
And we've got
Glasgow
one
Open
more. One more.
will be, I'm sorry?
And we've got one more surprise.
Sure. So the Glasgow Open will still be held. The plan is anyway to hold it on Labor Day weekend. In this case that's August 31st and September 1st is the way the calendar falls. So that's Labor Day weekend. I almost said it again. Labor Day weekend, the Glasgow Open, August 31st and September 1st. And now here's the second big surprise, I guess, in the schedule is that one of the original 4 CKTS tournaments, like the Danville Open, one of the other, let's see, was Danville Open? No, we didn't have Danville Open the first year, did we? All right, we had Columbia, Campbellsville, Russell Springs, and Somerset. No, it was not. It was maybe the second year we had Danville, I think. Anyway, Russell Springs is back on the CKTS Tour, September 14th and 15th. The Russell County High is building some new tennis courts, and they still have the tennis courts that they previously had, at least for now. They still have them if they don't turn them into a parking lot or anything. Jamestown City Park has recently redone their courts, and Russell Springs City Park is getting ready to redo their courts. There will be up to 13 courts available for this tournament, which is amazing for this area where I live,
That's great
coming that far in such a short time.
Well, it's great to see school corporations, city and county governments, and really the tennis community in these areas invest in facilities because we've all been to towns where the facilities get worn down, and it takes a while. They actually usually have to get in such bad shape that somebody will finally come in and do something about it, or they'll just fall apart, and then they'll tear them down and put pickleball courts. So it's good to see investment in tennis communities.
The ultimate failure of a tennis facility is that they turn it into pickleball courts. Yes, I said it.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I said it out loud. Yes. Yeah. Well, so welcome back to the tour, Russell Springs. Nate McQuarrie, that has done the Miller Park tournament for the last few years, is going to be the director of the Russell Springs tournament, which is as of yet unnamed, but that'll be September 14th and 15th, and that's 8 tournaments. There you go. That's the season of 2024.
Very exciting. Very exciting. How many are you going to play?
I hope to play every single one of them.
Oh, there you go. I can't make that commitment. I'm hoping to maybe play 3 or 4. I'd be happy if I played 4. If I played half the tour, I'd be pretty pleased.
Well, what keeps you from playing all 8?
Well, I have trouble sometimes playing on my own because it gets to be too big. I cannot see myself playing Campbellsville since I'll be in Lexington most of the week before, and then hopefully headed back there for the team event. I'd have to look at it from that point in time. Last year I played E-Town and Somerset, and I think I was going to play the Gator, but injuries were an issue, and I guess that's probably your answer why I can't play so many, is because I'm probably going to get injured at some point in time.
Well, I hope to be healthy enough to start the season. I'm still working on my foot surgery recovery, and I'm 5 months post-op, and it's a 9 to 15 month recovery process. That's quite a window. Is that some people are ready to go at 6 months, and some people it takes 15 months. So that's the window my surgeon has given me.
Getting ready to play.
I know. That's amazing. That's amazing. He was cleared to do football activities again 70-something days after surgery. I think that's right. I mean, that's insane. When I heard that, I'm like, what?
Wow.
Yeah. I still can't run. So, but I'm working on it anyway. Why don't you tell us about Family Medical Centers, please?
All right, Family Medical Centers is a community health center with more than 200 locations throughout South Central and a portion of North Central Kentucky in 31 counties. They've been providing health care to Kentuckians for over 16 years. They provide complete primary care services and also offer pediatrics, OBGYN, oral health services, school-based health centers, behavioral health services, substance use disorder treatment, pediatric wellness program, a workplace wellness program, a discount pharmacy program, outreach services, local scholarship opportunities, and much more. Family Medical Centers has been recognized as a national quality leader by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Check them out on their website at cfmcky.com or on Facebook at facebook.com/Family Medical Centers, and on Instagram and Twitter at Cumberland FMC.
And a big thank you to Family Medical Centers. Well, one of the challenges we had in making the 2024 CKTS schedule was working around some of the major events of the USTA adult tournament schedule, because a lot of our players like to play in both. And although we couldn't schedule around every one of their events, there were a few major ones that we had in mind that we wanted to kind of work around so that our people could play as many events here and there as they wanted to. So the schedule is up on the screen for the viewers on Facebook and YouTube. But Chad, what do you see there that stands out to you?
So the first thing, and we didn't talk about this when we were discussing putting the calendar together or putting our tour schedule together. Bowling Green is hosting the 55 and over state tournament for the second year in a row. So that really kept us from doing the Sidney Cassidy Memorial Tournament that first weekend. So that was a wrinkle. And the two big ones we try to avoid just because we don't want players to have to choose or players to have to miss some of our tournaments because of their league play. And the 40 and over is June 7th through the 9th. So that's an empty date on our calendar. That's in between Campbellsville and Bowling Green. And then the 40 and over is going to be, the 18 and over is June 21st through the 23rd. And so that's why we have the Cassidy Memorial on the 15th. And then we've got a break until the State Farm E-Town Open. So those are the big ones that we try to avoid, the 18 and over and the 40 and over weekends. And then the USTA kind of has a break until mixed, and the mixed doubles tournament is August 23rd, through the 25th in Lexington. And that's, I guess, the weekend before Trina's tournament in Glasgow. So those are the big ones. We've got tri-level state in September and combo in October, but the ones we always look at and try to avoid having simultaneous events would be the 18 and over, the 40 and over, and the mixed doubles.
Okay. Well, I hope I left that up there long enough for people to take a screenshot, but all of this is online if you need to find it. So that's a look at the 2024 USTA adult tournament schedule. And speaking of USTA, the new ratings just came out a couple of weeks ago, and for some people that's kind of like a Christmas anticipation, because it comes out right after Thanksgiving and leading into the beginning of December. And
some people, it's like a piece of coal in your stocking, though.
Some people, it's like a gift they wish they could return, and they do try to do that in the form of an appeal, right?
Right. That's right. Yeah.
So, any changes for you? Mine stayed the same.
No, I'm not that good. I wasn't that successful. I mean, you only get bumped if you're really, really, really successful, and I was probably 500 or around there. If you win a lot, there's a chance you're going to get bumped. Mm-hmm. I think people are figuring out what it takes to get bumped, but there were, there's still some surprises. There's some people sometimes that don't get bumped and you don't know how, but nobody else gets to look behind the curtain there.
Yeah. I talked to some people that, appealed and immediately got put back down a half level, and some didn't, and some were happy with what they were issued or the way they stayed.
The real tough one is injuries, especially as you get older. I think that's one of the more frustrating things for people is when they play at a certain level, but then they have a major injury like you're having. Or, they have to have knee surgery or have to have hip surgery or something like that knocks them out for, 5 years. Not only have they gotten older and then they are dealing with an injury and they probably don't feel the same as they did before. That's the one that really frustrates a lot of players is when they can't get that consideration for how long they've been away and the impact that those injuries have on your body and your ability to move on the court and do the things on the court that you're used to.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's take a look at some things that are coming up in January for tennis. The Sky Tennis Winter Flights Round Robin will have its phase 2, I guess you could say, on January 13th in Bowling Green. Chad, is there anything about that that you want to elaborate on?
I think we talked about this last time. I mean, several of you are familiar with UTR and a UTR rating. There is another rating system that the USTA is behind. It's called the WTN. It's a World Tennis Number, and that's kind of the structure for these. This is a USTA sanctioned event, and basically you'll play a round robin. You'll play a shortened format. I think Evan is going to do 6-game sets, and he had an event in December just a couple of weeks ago, and I think he's playing around with the length of the match because you're going to play 3 matches in one day minimum if you play just singles. If you play doubles, you could be playing 5 or 6. And so
But the matches are short, right? They're
yeah,
just
but
like a set.
he did a pro set in December, and I think he's going to shorten it to a single 6-game set just to try to
For singles, and I think doubles is an 8-game set. I may be wrong about that, but I think I read that.
But it's a different concept. You know, it's to do a tournament in one day, and to guarantee matches. So it's round robin. But there's a little criticism with the WTN that it's not accurate, and that's because there just aren't enough matches in there. It's just like UTR. The more matches you have, the better the rating system works. So hopefully this and all USTA matches count toward your WTN. So it'll just take some time. It took UTR some time to be pretty accurate, and I think it is. And this is a nice tournament. You shouldn't be. The goal is to play competitive matches against people who are of a similar rating. And I think the people that participated in the one in December had a really good time. It's nice to be able to get a tournament done in 12, 14 hours. And so I hope people will participate because it's a fun tournament.
So we have the QR code on the screen. I'll put, for the audio version of this, I'll put a link in the show notes at Tennis Link if you want to register for the Sky Tennis Winter Flights January 13th in Bowling Green.
And I don't know for sure. But I'm pretty confident from what I've been told from other people. USTA tournaments can sometimes be pretty expensive to play in. We had one for kids the other day, and they're sometimes $60-$70. Much like the CKTS, Evans fees are lower, and so it's a really good opportunity to play a lot of tennis at a reasonable cost.
Very good. The next thing that I'll be doing, I guess, and you'll be doing, is Southern Tennis Weekend in Atlanta, Georgia, on January 19th and 20th. That's the southern version of Kentucky Tennis Weekend, where there are committee meetings and Hall of Fame and an awards luncheon and just all that stuff. But it's in Atlanta. It's for the 9 states that are in the Southern District.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Southern section.
Yeah.
Southern section. I'm sorry.
It's going to be exciting. We've announced here that we have been awarded the Media Excellence Award. There might be more words in that, but there might be a name associated with it. I apologize for not knowing it off the top of my head, but you've been there before. This will be my first time at the Southern meeting, and so I'm excited about it. It'll be in Atlanta, and I think we're looking forward to a great weekend.
It's a whirlwind. We'll be in and out of there in less than 24 hours, since we're not on any committees that we need to meet. So. But yeah, looking forward to that, and it'll be here before we know it. 5 weeks away, I want to say. 6 weeks away is Kentucky Tennis Weekend, and that's in Louisville, Kentucky, on January 27th and 28th. Kentucky Tennis Weekend consists of committee meetings, Hall of Fame induction dinner, the community development workshop on Saturday morning. But I think that we can all agree that the highlight of the weekend is going to be the awards luncheon. Am I right?
Absolutely. And not just because we're winning an award.
Mm-hmm.
There's much more to make it so exciting.
USTA Kentucky was crazy enough to ask us, Chad Young and Chris Godby, to MC the awards luncheon. And so right away you wonder, well, who backed out? Who else did they call? And they told them no before they got to us. But we were thrilled to say yes immediately, and we're going to do that. I haven't done anything like that before. You probably have, being from a background in radio, maybe.
Yeah, I've done some emceeing of different things, but this will be. I don't know that I've ever done an awards program, but clearly I'm not. I don't get nervous when I have to get up and talk in front of people.
Now it's either going to be great or we are going to completely crash and burn.
Well, the biggest thing is, I mean, people are there to see their friends
Yeah.
get recognized. So if we just keep the spotlight on the people who are winning the awards, I think we'll be fine.
Okay, so I don't need to write too many jokes.
No, that's how we could actually mess this up if we
Oh,
have jokey.
oh,
Now,
okay.
Lachlan McLean did it last year, and
Mhm.
he's a radio guy, and so he's got a little. He did a good job of mixing in a little humor, try to keep things lighthearted, and he did a good job. So we've got some big shoes to fill.
Yeah, Lachlan McLean, who is a talk radio host in Louisville, I think he's the traditional host of this awards luncheon, and he had a scheduling conflict.
He's a
So
tennis
we're
player too, so that helps.
okay. Cool. Yeah.
That'll help in our regard as well.
So they asked us to step in, and we're gonna do that, and it's gonna be great or crash and burn, one or the other. We'll see. So, but as far as Kentucky Tennis Weekend goes, watch your email for you community tennis leaders. Watch your email for registration information, which you should be getting anytime now if you haven't gotten that already. And we'll see you at Kentucky Tennis Weekend on January 27th and 28th.
Yeah,
in
even
Louisville.
if you're not involved in the USTA and you're not going to attend the board meeting or the committee meetings or anything like that, Hall of Fame dinner is wonderful, and then the awards program, on Saturday. So just if you're involved in tennis in the state, I think it's a great weekend. I went last year for the whole weekend, and I loved it. And if you're not attending the community development workshop, what do you do on Saturday morning before the awards luncheon?
Well, maybe we have something in mind for you. Chad and I are planning on setting up a table somewhere in the lobby or common area where this event is taking place. And we're going to do some podcast recordings right there on site with some of the attendees. People that we can flag down and force into the chair that will sit down in front of a mic and talk to us for a minute. We've never done anything like this before. It'll be our first remote, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to call it a remote. And we're going to wing it and see how it goes. But hopefully that'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, hopefully maybe there'll be some Hall of Fame inductees maybe moving around on Saturday.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Grab some of those folks, and maybe some of the other, winners will be floating around. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a busy day though for us. Absolutely.
And we'll either have like a big fancy backdrop and a table and special branded tablecloth, or it'll just be us and a card table or something. We don't know yet. Hopefully the former and not the latter. All right, so hope to see you there at Kentucky Tennis Weekend. It's usually a good place to run into and catch up with some people in tennis in Kentucky that you haven't seen in a long time, so that's always fun. Well, if you're having some kind of tennis event that you want us to mention on the show, maybe you don't want us to mention anything on the show, you could email us and say, we're having this, but please don't talk about it because this show is terrible. No. But no, if you want us to announce any kind of tennis event that you're having in 2024, you can email us at info@gamesetmatchky.com. That's for anything as far as leagues, clinics, tournaments, special events, camps, anything tennis related that's going on that you would like for us to announce or discuss on the show. And Chad, before we wrap up completely, speaking of wrapping, let's talk about a Christmas gift idea that you wanted to mention.
Yeah, it's kind of an early Christmas present to myself. If you're on Facebook, I'm sure you've seen it, especially if you're a tennis player. The whole algorithm knows you like tennis, and so they send tennis things your way. And so I recently got this Swing Vision, which is an app, and it's an AI generated ball tracking system that uses your iPhone. They also have a swing stick that it makes it easy to mount indoor or outdoor. You can put it on top of the fence. You can put it on top of the curtain if you're indoor, or you can mount it in any kind of fence that has the little diamond shape. And so it's pretty cool. I've done it a couple times. I sent Chris a video. I put together a little bit of a highlight reel. It's only the good shots I hit in a match a week ago. And it's pretty cool. It really is. It's pretty easy to set up. And it gives you some pretty quick feedback on, your position on the court when you hit shots, where your balls are landing. I'm not 100% in agreement with some of the miles per hour and the speeds on it, but it does a pretty good job.
All that will improve. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. They're working on
being
it.
AI generated, that all that will improve. Yeah.
But it's $150 a year, which seems like a lot, but if you plan to use it like I do for not only your own recreational play, but I plan to use it for our tennis team just to give kids feedback. If you've never used video to kind of fine tune your game, I'd highly recommend it. For years I've used just an iPhone, taking picture of kids hitting ground strokes or serves, and you can teach so much, and they're able to see what they're doing right or doing wrong or what needs to be improved. And so I saw this on Facebook. It kept coming up, and so I looked into it, and
it's popped up on my feed too. Yeah.
They do a 30-day money-back guarantee. So, you're not committed to it. You can try it out and see if you like it. But if you have a tennis player who you're looking for a Christmas gift, I would recommend it because I think it's pretty neat. And the reason I wanted to do it is I think this is going to be a kind of a revolutionary thing in tennis. And I kind of wanted to be on the front end of it because I think this kind of technology is really it's stuff that's already been available at the professional level. Now it's available at the recreational level at a pretty decent price point as well. So I'm not even going to give you my referral code. I'm just going to tell you that I think it's a pretty cool thing.
Well, I have a feeling we're going to be talking about this more. And they're not even a sponsor, and here we are promoting their product. Hey, maybe they'll become one.
Be great.
So yeah, Swing Vision. So check that out, and a gift idea for the tennis player in your life. Other than that, I think that's going to just about serve out another episode of Game Set Match Kentucky. We're always grateful for another year of people listening to the show and watching the videos, a version of the show that we've done now for a few years. If you're an audio-only person, you could subscribe at any time with any major podcast app on your mobile device. In that podcast app, we would love it if you would give us a 5-star rating and maybe even write a short review for us. You can visit our website at GameSetMatchKY.com. If you want to go all the way back and listen to old episodes from when I started the program in 2018, we have a Facebook page that's facebook.com/GameSetMatchKY, which you may be watching from that page right now if you are watching by video. You can also on Facebook go to facebook.com/CKTS Tour, and you can keep up with CKTS and our upcoming tournaments. On Twitter, we are at GameSetMatchKY.com. Chad is on Twitter at Chad Young Tennis, and I'm on Twitter at Chris Godby or at GameSetMatchKY. We'd like to say thanks again to our sponsors for another great year of supporting this podcast. That's Vision Cabinet Source and Family Medical Centers. We're also accepting upcoming sponsorships for the year upcoming. Reach out to info@GameSetMatchKY.com to inquire about that, Swing Vision. And we'll be back for another episode. I think that we should do one after Kentucky Tennis Weekend. What do you think?
Well, we're doing one Kentucky Tennis Weekend.
We'll do it. We'll record it then.
Oh, okay.
And probably be audio only.
Okay.
And I don't know. I have to think about that. But off the top of my head, I'm thinking audio only, and that'll come out, in early February. After we get back from Kentucky Tennis Weekend.
Got it.
So it'd be. I don't think there's ever been a January broadcast. I don't think there's ever been a February broadcast. So that'll be the first time for that. So something to look forward to. Right as you get really geared up into high school practice, right?
And that's the truth. I mean,
it's time.
As soon as Kentucky Tennis Weekend is over, I mean,
Yep.
the season's about to start.
So we'll be back sometime soon, and we'll have some more exciting news to share, I'm sure. I hope that everybody has an outstanding Christmas and an awesome 2024. I'm definitely looking forward to, I hope, a healthier 2024 for myself and for you, Chad, too, for your elbow injury. I hope you don't have to deal with that so much this coming year.
Let's hope.
Okay.
Well, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everyone, and hopefully we'll see you on the courts sometime in 2024.
And happy birthday to today, actually, as we record, happy birthday to my tennis buddy, Chris Duke in Louisville. Chris's band, Villain District, that's our theme song at the beginning and end of the show. It's from his band. Happy birthday, Chris. I think he probably got promoted to 4-5. He's so incredible out there on the court. No, I think he's a 4-0. But Chris, I hope to see you soon, man. Happy birthday. And until next time, I'm Chris Godby with Chad Young, and this has been Game, Set, Match Kentucky. Merry Christmas.